Hello, I'm ArchieLuxury, and I'm coming to you live from Singapore! Singapore, what a wonderful city. Probably the greatest city on earth here. This is absolutely fantastic, and we're bringing the ArchieLuxury channel up a notch. International city for an international YouTube celebrity, Singapore. The greatest city on earth. What a wonderful city indeed, fuckers. Absolutely fantastic city. Absolutely on the channel, fuckers. Hello, I'm ArchieLuxury and welcome to the program. And today I'd like to talk about Singapore. And I gotta tell you, I've had a strong affection for Singapore for a long time. But it ain't all good, fuckers. No, it ain't all good. Singaporeans, to be honest with you, are really nasty fuckers. And, you know, the thing about Singapore is it's a very, very competitive country. It's hard to make a buck. It's hard to get into the good schools, hard to get into the good universities, hard to get the good jobs. It's so competitive. And it's a free enterprise capitalist system. Singapore is very, very financially orientated. And, you know, Singaporeans, you look at the average Singaporean, they're probably wearing a Rolex. They've probably got a hoard of luxury goods. And these are just normal, everyday schmoes. And I got to tell you, the thing about Singapore is that it seems to be a country where those fuckers think that by putting you down, they're putting themselves up. They're really nasty, nasty fuckers, and you got to watch yourself with the Singaporeans. Real nasty fuckers. And, you know, on the surface, they appear nice and friendly and polite, but underneath that false exterior, they're ready to walk all over you if need be. If you collapsed in the subway, how many fucking Singaporeans would help you? None! That's fucking right. They're too busy. They're too busy with their career. They don't want to be late. They're all spineless dogs. And I don't know what to say there. They're just nasty. Really fucking nasty fuckers, the Singaporeans. And don't be sucked in by their polite bullshit. But there's many aspects to life in Singapore I love. I love the old British architecture. And, you know, Winston Churchill, you bastard! You gave up Singapore, the fall of Singapore. And it's a very, you know, I love that British influence. It's very, very nice. And I also love the cosmopolitan, you know, multicultural mix. You've got Indians, you've got Muslims, you've got a lot of cultures intertwining, and you've got things like Singlish, Singapore English, and you know, I really do love Singapore. It's a beautiful, clean city. It's a fine, fine city. You do something wrong, those fuckers will fine you. But for the tourist, it's a great spot to come. It's fucking expensive. I must be completely truthful there. It is a fucking expensive city. Singapore ain't cheap, fuckers. It's full fucking retail. You know, it's an expensive city. Singapore ain't cheap. And you know, you come to Singapore. Hotels, it's Western prices, you know, it's Western prices. There's the food. The food is actually, that's a big plus. Food is relatively affordable. You've also got the public transport situation is amazing. It's fantastic. The underground is fantastic. And even catching a cab, a taxis are very affordable. Hotels, fucking expensive. Upmarket restaurants, expensive. Alcohol, expensive. You go to a bar, fucking expensive. I remember paying $15 for a beer in Singapore. Fuck! Not gonna make that mistake again. And there's a lot of interesting subculture there. The pay-for-play scene. You've got Orchard Towers. You've also got these little beer bars where you go in there. The girls won't. They're not like. It's not as it's not as relaxed as Thailand. These are more structured events where they're entertainers in the bar and you buy drinks, and it's a big social cultural thing. It's very much like Japanese the Japanese hostess sort of clubs, and it's very, very interesting indeed. Singapore, I love it. It's not a poor man's town. You've got to be fucking rich. I mean, if you're poor, man, there's not much fun in Singapore. Singapore's not the place to be a poor fucker. Thailand, you can sort of survive. You've got, it's not real money, it's pretend money, you know, the baht, and everything just, you know, it doesn't seem that expensive. But in Singapore, it's not a poor man's town. This is somewhere to go if you are a rich, loaded expat fucker. That's what it's for. Loaded, rich, expat fuckers. That's what Singapore's for. So, yeah, it's. I love Singapore. Love it to bits. I gotta be honest with you. You know, Singapore is often called Singapore Light because it's so perfect, and it's like a Western city, but the prices are fucking high. It's a great place to visit. I don't know if you're just lower middle class. I don't think it's the place for you. It's sort of if you wanted to rent an apartment or actually live here long term, it's expensive, fuckers. It's expensive. Yes, it's fucking expensive, and the government's not out to help fucking expats, sexpats who just want to have a good time, that's for sure. But Singapore itself, well worth a visit, well worth a look, and highly recommend. Archie gives it the highly recommend. If you're going to be pay for play, much better off to go wholesale at the source, like Bangkok, you know, much better, more affordable. Pay for play, you've got a lot of maids there, so you may be able to get a freebie with some maids. A lot of Filipino ladies there who work as domestics and that there. So, you know, there's always, I don't fuck it. It's not my scene. It's not, just too much hassle. But Singapore itself, highly recommend to go there. It's hot and fucking humid. Fucking atrocious weather. Fucking awful. And it's just fucking awful, expensive, and it's just, I don't know, it's just fucking, you know, you can only stay there for so long before you get the shits with the place. But there you go, that's my wrap up for Singapore. I'm ArchieLuxury. Tell me what you fuckers think of that. Nice one, Archie. Good to hear you spruiking the truth, fat boy. Good to hear you spruiking the truth.